Okay, we're good now. Like, finally, Jesus. That was way hotter than it should have been. But I'm seeing a green dot now, and apparently my connection decided to collaborate with me, which is great. And I apologize for the inconvenience again. It's weird because I do a speed test. I did it twice. Upload speeds, functional. I hit stream, boom, to the floor. That happened twice. So I had to restart my computer and my router and everything twice. But now it's working, so perfect. Hamid, Virgil, how are you doing, guys? I'm doing something different with the chat today. So I'm going to, unfortunately, you're gonna have to give me like 2 minutes to set everything up again. But once we get through that, we can begin. Because we have a lot to do today. Just setting up the chat over here. I'm gonna go away for a second, don't worry. And I'm back. So what I'm going to do different is the chat is now going to be right here. No, that's way too low. Well, it's gonna be better when I move out of this screen and instead go to here. So that's gonna be a little bit visible. But while I'm in camera, the chat's gonna be here, which is not gonna be for too long. And I'm doing this because I realize that when I am highlighting chats, that takes away from my concentration and my focus. And sometimes I forget to unhighlight the chats and they stay on the screen like right here. And then I'm coding and the chat is in the way. And I couldn't see what I was typing. So instead of highlighting chats this time, I'm going to keep the chat on screen the whole time. And so yeah. I'm gonna move some windows around, removing this one from here. I'm gonna put that in the other monitor, and I'm going to open VS Code and all the things. The good news is, if for whoever is not. I hope people don't drop F-bombs. Yeah, me too. But it's the name of the game, you know? I hope people understand that sometimes we have difficulties. Only 4 viewers, Amit, Virgil, and another 2. I hope nobody's upset. But hey, we're going. We're live. That's what matters, right? I'm just gonna set up some things. I'm not gonna share my screen just yet. I'm just gonna get everything set up, and then we can get going. Just serving up my development server, and opening VS Code. Okay, I think I can start sharing my screen now. So yeah, chat is gonna be up there, and I'm out of frame. Hold on, this way. There you go. Oh, maybe I can move this camera, maybe a tad to the right, like so. No, still out of frame. That's unfortunate. Is it the other way around? Yeah, it's the other way around. Right there. Okay, cool. And a lot of people in the chat. Hey, how you doing, guys? Radu, hi from Romania. Appreciate so much what you do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. And technically 5 viewers, I guess. Yeah, Milen, how you doing? more people coming in. I should send a tweet. What do you think, guys? I should like promote this thing. Let's send a quick tweet. Yeah, you know, I use my phone as my camera, so that's I really should invest in a new camera. Faisal, hi, how you doing? Love from Pakistan. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm doing great. Despite all the technical difficulties, I am doing awesome. Let's send a quick tweet so that we can let people know that we're here and we're live. I'm gonna look for the picture. There it is. And now I need the link to share. Copy this, paste it here. And post. Let's add a little flair to it. Rocket emoji. There you go. Post. All right. So that's that. Now I need VS Code. 1 second. Send an X. I still call it Twitter. I know it's an X, but old dog, no new tricks. So yeah, for those of you who were here last week, I ended the stream with again a very weird bug where I could not load the date, which was a new column in the appointments when I was editing that appointment. So the date just wouldn't show up. I couldn't figure out why. I did everything I could, and then it was the dumbest thing you could possibly imagine. Let me show you. So the problem was I had forgotten filament resources, appointment resource. When editing an appointment, I forgot I had this line right here. This line was wiping the date before filling the form. And I forgot about that completely. And that's why the date wasn't showing up. So if we go back to the panel again, let's go to admin and just fix this real quick so that we can keep moving. So we have appointments here. It's also for cats. Yes, I actually have, let me show you. I don't use it as much, but there is a picture. Not just cats, not just dogs. We have ginger, we have a lizard, we have a rat, and we have a cat. It's for all pets. Hey, Shane, how you doing, my man? Love to see you around. Happy Sunday to you. I missed your live stream today because I was sound asleep. Sorry to say that. But was the giveaway, right? Let's see. So when you edit an appointment, you can clearly see the date here, but when I was editing, the date was gone, right? And that was a problem. So that would affect the slot and the doctor and everything else. So if I go here and just remove this little line and then refresh, everything works. I'm in and out, but I wanted to say hi and show some support. Yes, winners are announced. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check the replay once I'm done with this. And thank you for being here and thank you for your support. You're very much appreciated. Thank you. All right, so we're done with that, and that's working, which is great. I'm gonna work on the layout of this in later today if I have some time, because today I really want to get to the doctor's panel finally, once this is done. I'm gonna open my notes to see where are we and see what do we have to do. So appointment resource fixed. And now we are going to add multi-tenancy to the doctor's panel 2 weeks later. So let's open the doctor's panel. By the way, let me log into that real quick. Log out here. Switch to doctors. Let's log in and as John, was it example or email? I think it's email. Nope, example. There you go. So right now in the doctor's panel, we don't have multi-tenancy. We don't have nothing but the schedules resource, which is not scoped to, I don't remember if it was scoped. I think the schedule resource is scoped to the user, but we're going to have to create another scope for the appointments as well. And we need to create that resource as well. So let's start with the multi-tenancy thing. Let's go to app, providers, Filament, doctor panel provider. And right here, we're going to add a tenant with the clinic class. Impersonation feature for the admin role. I've never heard of that, to be honest. What is it? What is the impersonation feature? Hi Dajit, how you doing? Happy Sunday. I hope you're doing well. Impersonation feature. I don't know what that is. Okay, we have multi-tenancy in the pet clinic, which means that the schedules are now not working because we don't have a date in the schedules anymore. Now this is day of the week. So let's go and fix that. Admin can be anyone, any user. I'll have to look into that. That sounds interesting. Well, technically, if I can, any user can be an admin. I just have to go into as an admin to the admin panel and just set the role to admin instead of doctor. But I'm guessing you mean that in like live while it's running. Impersonation is when admin can log in to user without knowing the credentials for troubleshooting. Oh. That's more a user role thing. Yeah, Virgil. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it and I'll let you know, guys. Impersonation feature. That's interesting. Let's fix this error first. Yeah, like I was saying, the schedules don't have any date anymore. So let's close these two windows and let's open the doctor's schedule resource. So this is not going to work. Why don't we do this? Let me open the admin schedule resource, which is working, and then I'll just copy that into here and remove whatever we don't need. So let's grab the table. Was it the table? Yeah, the table. Let's grab the table first. I'm gonna grab everything up until this point. And then paste it in the doctor's table for the schedule resource. And let's see, what do we need, what we don't need. Radu, basically you switch the role but with the admin credentials. Okay, okay. Povilas, share your video on what? When did this happen? How did what the wait, what? Really? Oh my god, I did not know about this. Did he sorry. Breathe. Did he send a tweet about it, or when did he when this did? I haven't checked my Twitter. I have 2 notifications on my Twitter account and I haven't checked those. Didn't have time this morning. I'm guessing one of those is that. So yeah, that thing is gonna blow up. Funny story is that the first time I actually started gaining traction on my YouTube channel was the first time that Povilas retweeted one of my tweets about a video, and that video went not viral, but viral for me. So ever since, I actually started gaining traction. I think that was the point where I thought, yeah, I'm making progress. Yes, Twitter. I'll have to check that in a minute. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that. That makes me really happy. Okay, what do we need the default group here for clinic name. We do need the date. Owner name. We don't need the owner name on the doctors because we can only see our own schedules. Day of the week. I'm gonna keep that, but I'm probably gonna remove it because we have the tab filters at the top, which I'm going to add real quick. And then slots we also need. Created ad, updated ad. Okay, let's save that and refresh this. Okay, now it's working. Perfect. So we have schedules, and if you don't remember, those schedules, I have a assign global scopes middleware, which will limit the records on schedules by the logged in user, and that is applied in the doctor panel provider class down here. So that way the doctor can only see his own schedules, which is good. Let's add the tabbed filter up here because that was in the admin panel but not here. So I think that's in the list records. Let me check. Resources, admin, appointment, no. Schedule resource, list schedules. Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna copy the get tabs and get default active tab. Mastermind is a big of a stretch, but thank you. Appreciate the sentiment. Tony is good. I've watched pretty much all of his videos about Filament, and he's really good. And I don't know how he put out so much content in such short amount of time. Guess I'm getting better at that. I'm like very picky about when I'm recording, and once I record, what takes me the most time is the editing process, because I'm so really picky about the transitions and where to cut, and that cut doesn't look good. So it takes me a lot of time just to edit one video, but I'm gaining some speed in that regard. So I'm learning. So I'm going to copy this from the list schedules in the admin, and I'm going to bring it up to schedule resource list schedules on the doctor. And this will give us the tab at the top. And with that, I can get rid of the day of the week. This is in the doctor panel, yes. Now this looks like, oh yeah, I have to import a bunch of stuff. Let's see, starting with, it's builder, well, I know tab, I need to import that. Filament form, components tab. I guess that was not the one. List schedules admin. So I need filament resources pages list records. Tab. Okay, so that's one. I think we need to import the days of the week as well. And he mentioned something about carbon. There you go. Illuminate support carbon. Oh, so it wasn't Pivoles or Poviles, it was Tony. Still, man, I mean, how many subscribers does he have? Does he have like 5,000, something like that? Still, I mean, it's still an honor. I mean, Tony is like a big name out there I mean, not just for Laravel, but for Filament, and it's great to be noticed either way. Yeah, I noticed I'm almost to 100 users in Discord, which is, I didn't think that was going to happen so fast, to be honest. I'm implementing Spatty Media Library in Filament so I can store alt text for the image. Any idea? I haven't used that package. I've heard of it, but I haven't used it. If you can post it on Discord, I can definitely take a look during the week. What are you going on about? Argument 1 must be of type filament doctor resources schedule resource pages builder. I'm guessing the builder I didn't import. I didn't. Okay. That's a problem with copy paste. Illuminate database eloquent builder. Okay, good. So we have the tab filter and there is a schedule for Monday. I should add like an icon here, like a bubble saying when do I have schedules. It'll be important for the user or for the doctor to be able to see, oh, Monday I have 2, 5, 10 slots, instead of having to click every single one just to realize that Monday is the day that I work or the doctor works. Let me make a note of that so that we can add it later. Count icon, I guess. Tabs. Okay, so we have multi-tenancy in the doctor panel. We copy the schedule resource from admin and we added the tab filter, and now we can move into the appointment resource. I'm going to create a new resource. I'm going to do it here in the terminal. This is for appointment. And this is going to be in the doctor panel. Okay. And again, I'm going to bring up the admin appointment resource and then copy everything from there to here and then remove what we don't need. Let's see. Let's start with the table. Okay. And let's see, we need the pet name. Yes, we need the description. Slot schedule owner name. We don't need this because this is going to be only for our appointments, and I'm going to add that global scope in just a moment. In fact, let's add it just now so that I don't forget. Let's open the assign global scopes middleware. I'm going to copy this one since it's very similar, and instead of schedule, let's use appointment. Okay, now I'm facing a problem here because the appointments are not directly linked to a doctor. It goes like this: the appointment has a slot, the slot has a schedule, and the schedule belongs to a doctor. So it's kind of a long way to reach the doctor, and it's going to make my life a little bit difficult. Here, for example, when I'm supposed to limit the appointment records for the current doctor, but then I have to go through all of those relationships just to get to the doctor. And I think the easiest way to make my life less complicated is to just add a doctor ID to the appointment. Yeah, that makes sense. So that way the appointment, whenever we create an appointment, it will directly be assigned to a doctor instead of having to be assigned to a slot that belongs to a schedule that belongs to a doctor. And I guess when editing the appointment, if we modify the date and then the doctor and then the slot, the doctor ID will always be dependent on whether that doctor has schedule in that day, so it really doesn't create a problem and solves more problems that it creates. I can't think of a really big problem with that. So yeah, let's actually make that real quick. So I need a new migration. Let's see, PHP artisan, make migration. And I love it that with Laravel prompts, you don't even have to put in the name. It just asks you what the name is. So update appointments table. My keyboard is in the wrong place. There we go. Appointments table. Add doctor ID column. This is for the appointments table, and then we have a callback function with a blueprint. And here we're going to say table for an ID for user. And I'm going to call this column Doctor ID. Do you use testing for this app? I don't, but I think last week I started experimenting, adding test features to it. So I think if we manage to get good to, if we manage to make good progress this week, I can take the next week to add test features to it, because yeah, it is very important that we test our application, and I'm very aware that I didn't use TDD for this project when I should have, but I think in my mind it was kind of more priority. There was higher priority to just start using Filament and start showing you guys how Filament works than starting with the test, and that creates like another layer and another barrier in your mind. If you're not familiar with Filament and I introduce you to Filament with tests, it kind of makes it more difficult to learn. But I think now that we have a few weeks in, I can take next week and add a few test features to the resources that we have. Maybe choose one resource and just test it all, and show you how testing works. It's not really that much difficult, but yeah, I definitely have in mind, and I have in my list of things to do to show you how to test Filament resources. But the doctor can have multiple clinics, so it's not a problem. I don't think it is, because then again, the appointments, given multi-tenancy, appointments are always going to be limited to the current clinic. So even if the doctor has an appointment or has an appointment assigned in another clinic, you can't see it. Those records will be segregated, and we can actually test this out. Once I get the column in, we can have one doctor, the same doctor, work in two clinics and give appointments to that same doctor in two different clinics, and make sure that you can only see the appointments in one clinic and not the other one. So we'll get to that. Let's get this, and for consistency, let's drop this column here. Oh, come on, now you're just bragging, man. I'm so happy that you get to travel. So many nice places that you get to go, man. Don't worry about it. Videos will always be here waiting for you. Okay, so we have the doctor ID. Let's run this migration. I can't run it just yet, because if I don't make it nullable, it's going to fail. Okay, now we can run it. PHP artisan migrate. Okay, great. And now let's go to, where do we go? Okay, now I can assign a global scope directly in the appointment where it belongs to, and I need this relationship. So the relationship is going to be doctor. Let's head over to the appointment class and add that relationship. Belongs to doctor, no, not doctor, user. And this is going to be with the doctor ID. Okay, so assign global scopes, belongs to doctor on the doctor relationship. This is done. And now I should modify the appointment resource, but I'm going to need to modify both the admin and the doctor. So let's start with the doctor one. Hey Virgil, how easy, I've heard of it, but how easy it is, do you travel by train or do you go by plane? I've heard that traveling between Europe, it's a lot easier, or it's easy to travel along Europe by train. Is that the normal way of transportation, or do you just take planes to everywhere you go? I'm just planning my next trip to Europe. Someday. Nice to dream. So here in the table, for example, in appointment resource, now I can just say doctor name instead of slot, schedule, owner name. This is going to be null at first, but we're going to fix that. And what else? In the form which we haven't copied, there will be changes. So let's open the appointment resource for the admin. Let's make that same change here. It's just doctor name. And what changes on the form? We have the pet, yes. Clinic ID, yes. Date, yes. This is going to change because now the select can be applied directly to doctor ID. And I'm probably going to change this label so that it doesn't read doctor ID. Instead, I wanted to read doctor. And now when I change the date, I'm going to set doctor ID to null. This is in the admin, not the doctor. And so doctor ID, label doctor, the options, still that I don't think that's going to change because we still want to show only the list of doctors that have schedules for that clinic in that day of the week in the admin panel. Plug name and ID. By the way, we should fix this. Remember what this PHP stan ignore next line was about? Apparently, instead of get, you can just do plug right on the query. So that saves us a step. The result is the same, but instead of doing the plug in a collection after getting the results, we can just do plug on the query and that will give us the same result from the collection as if doing it in the collection. So that will allow us to remove this from here. And I guess at the end I should take some maybe 15-20 minutes to run PHP stan again, just to make sure that everything's working. So yeah, doctor still the same. Doctor ID changes, native false. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Oh, here. This get is no longer doctor, is doctor ID. And this one too, doctor ID. This will hide the slot ID in case the doctor ID is not filled up. And I think that's it. Remind me to get back to the admin panel just to make sure that all of these changes work. But for now, I'm just going to copy the form. Do I need a doctor role in the doctor's panel? Technically, I'm gonna keep it for now and see if I can change some things, because on the doctor, it doesn't really, I don't know. Let's try it. I'm gonna copy this and bring it over to the doctor panel. And then let's start removing things that I don't need. So what do I use this doctor role for? I use it in the doctor ID to limit the list by doctors. So I guess technically I do need it. Okay, so let's import role. And then I need set as well. Select, no, I need get. Import that. Probably need the builder as well. Illuminate database, eloquent. I guess it is already imported. Let me check. Yes, it is. So builder is there. I need carbon. Illuminate support carbon. Get is already there. Set is already there. Builder 2. I need user. Have models user. Carbon is already there. Appointment status. Let's import that. I think we're good. Okay, let me save that. Oh, what is it with what don't we need here? Clinic, for example. Clinic ID, we don't need that because it should only show records for the current clinic. So that will require some changes, I guess. So this goes away. So the doctor no longer can select a clinic. The doctor can just switch tenants in the tenant menu. That means that when I switch date, I'm setting the doctor ID to null. That still is the same, but here I can no longer do get clinic here. But what I can do is filament, which is in filament facades filament, get tenant ID. So that'll give me the current clinic, which is the current tenant, and on that I can get the ID, and I filter that. I use that to filter the clinic ID for the schedules. And I'm going to try to remove that because technically multi-tenancy should apply filters to the schedules, but I don't know if it works on when you use it in warehouse. So we'll test that out in a minute. So we remove clinic ID, we still need pet, we still need date. If we are in the doctor's panel, do we really need to select the doctor? Because if I'm the doctor and I'm creating an appointment, the appointment should be assigned directly to the current doctor. So I don't need to select a doctor. An owner can sell his pet or buy another pet. this that's a good idea if this was a pet market. But yeah, I guess adoption. How about adopt a pet? Ooh, that's a good idea. We should make a section in the pet clinic for adoptions. Like, there are a bunch of pets that don't have an owner, so come on over and adopt a pet. That'll be interesting. Sedar, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you here before. If I have, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I think the doctor drop down here, it's not really needed. Velevan, hi, how you doing, man? I hope you're having a great weekend. Ownership of pets can be transferred from one person to another. Technically, that's already in place here, because when you have in the pet resource, you have a drop down for owners, and that can change. The admin can change that, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the admin in the admin panel. If you go to the pets resource, you have the ability to change the owner of the pet. I think you will need a front page for adoption. The user should not log in for this. Yeah, you're right. And in fact, for the owner part, I've been thinking that maybe we should have like a front end with Livewire, and well, maybe have a tall stack in the front, but not necessarily using filament panels. We can still use filament tables and forms, etc., but we could try and experiment with a front face using a tall stack and using filament as a backup, like in pieces, not using the panels. And that'll give us a nice inside an inside view of how if you have a tall stack project already, you can incorporate filament into that without having to install the whole filament panels. I have seen all of your videos in the last 2 days. I have waited for this live. Oh, thank you. That's very humbling. Thank you for that. I have a doubt. Can we use the filament multi-tenancy in API for React Native? Ooh, that's a tough one. Filament multi-tenancy for React Native in an API. To be honest, I don't know. Mostly because I'm not familiar with React, and I don't know how Filament works on the API side. I guess I'll have to do some research on that, but yeah, at this point, I'm not sure. Belaura, hi, how you doing? I'm gonna comment this Doctor ID dropdown just so I can reference it, but that's not gonna be needed in the doctor's panel. But that means that I only get to select the pet, the date, and the slot. And I'm guessing this is not gonna work as a relationship anymore. I've seen that when the select is dependent on another field, if you do it with a relationship, it doesn't really refresh when you change the value on the field you depend on. It only really works when you do options instead. So this is going to change. In fact, let me grab, instead of relationship, let me add these options down here. And for options, we're going to need callback function. And I'm probably going to need get. Do I? I don't, well, just for the date. Yes, so get. What's going on here? Oh. Typo. So, okay, so we have the options here. And I'm guessing the options part is going to do pretty much the same we're doing in here in the model modify query using. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here for now. So this query, this is, instead of query, this is going to be slot. So slot where has schedules, and we are making use of the doctor, getting that from the doctor ID. That's not going to work anymore. We don't have a doctor ID. This should be the currently logged in user. So filament auth user. So that's the doctor. Day of the week, we get it from date and turn that into a day of the week. So we filter the slot schedule by clinic ID. I'm doubtful this is going to be needed. And by the way, we don't have a clinic ID anymore. This is going to be filament get tenant ID. Create a medical record for the pet upon its first visit to the clinic or doctor. What I'm thinking about doing, just to start simple, is I'm going to add a log for the appointment at some point for doctors, so that when the doctor is looking at the appointment, he can add log records, which are going to be simple text entries for now, so that there is a history of logs for the appointment on that pet. This is way too small. Okay, so again, slot, schedule, filter by clinic ID, which I'm doubtful I'm going to need because of multi-tenancy. But then again, maybe it doesn't work when we are filtering relationships. Day of the week, and also where it belongs to the doctor, which is the currently logged in user. It's going to be hidden if the doctor ID is blank. That doesn't work anymore. So we have to make that dependent on the date. Yes. So it's going to be hidden if the date is not filled up. Also, up here, when we modify the date, since we don't have a doctor ID anymore, what has to happen is to set the slot ID to null. I guess I don't need this anymore. It's just in the way right now. I have a to-do here because this is starting to get a little too big and bloated. I'm not too worried right now because I just need things to work. before I rework. But I do have the idea of moving certain things that are happening in the resource, move them to maybe a service class of some sort, but that'll be in the rework part. Right now I just need things to work, but it's nice to make notes so that I don't forget. So this will set the slot ID to null, and the slot, we don't need the relationship anymore. We're going to work with options. And every time we click on the select, it's going to grab the doctor, grab the day of the week, filter the slots by schedule, and here I have to return them. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Let's try. Normally, if it was a simple like name and ID, I would do pluck. Ooh. ID and maybe start. But the thing is, with the slot, we have an attribute called formatted time, which will give me the start and end time with a hyphen in the middle. So pluck is not going to work in this case because it's going to give me if I try to do, I think it's the other way around. If I try to do formatted time in ID like this, it's going to complain that this formatted time doesn't exist. So instead I have to first do get, which will give me a collection, complete collection, and that collection will have the attribute. So I can then plug that out of the collection. And that'll give me the list of slots for this select. Hidden, if the date is blank. Get, I don't think I need this anymore, because we're not using a relationship. We don't really need to modify the label for that, for this dropdown. It's all going to come from here, from this block. So let's remove that. Then we have the description and the status. Okay, let's give this a shot. Let's change that icon. And let's also use navigation sort. I want this to be always on top. So appointment and then schedules. Copy this, and I'm probably gonna need to update the schedule resource as well, because I don't believe it has any sorting to it. Yeah, it doesn't. Doctor schedule resource, and let's go up here. The schedule resource is going to be second in line. All right, cool. We go to appointments now. There are no appointments, which makes sense. Let's try to create a new one. And if we select, I believe this doctor has schedules for Fridays. And by the way, we should also add the ability to disable dates in the past on this drop down. For now, I can just select a date in the past, which is a Friday. Is this a Friday? No, that's Saturday. We don't have slots. Let me check the schedules for this. It was Monday. I have schedules for Monday. So let's choose this Monday here. Still not working. What could it be? What could it be? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do I have to make this? Is this field live by any chance? Slot ID? No, it's not live. And we need it to be live. Let's see if that fixes the issue. Nope. Technically, we don't need this get here anymore. Maybe I have to go. I'm gonna try doing this whole thing in Tinker to see what happens. Oh, maybe I could just take this and put it. Oh, right. You have to return things when you do it in options. Like so. Monday, there it is. All right. And if I select another date, maybe Tuesday, then it's gone. All right, cool. Create an appointment, something pet related, and then create. Say what now? This route is not working for some weird reason. And it didn't create my appointment, which is weird. A few things that are wrong there is that there is no redirection. After you create a record, it should take me back to the index, not stay on the edit. And second, it didn't create the record. I'm guessing because there is something wrong with the creation. First of all, we are not assigning the doctor to the date to the appointment, so that probably is failing. Also, on the appointment model, we didn't add the doctor ID as fillable. So let's start checking those up one by one. So there is a fillable field. Let me check the database real quick to see if that appointment was created. PHP Artisan Tinker. Check all the appointments. Today, yeah, this one was created just now, but Doctor ID is no, which makes sense that is not showing up in the list of appointments, but it was created. So I have to fix that and make sure that the date whenever we create an appointment, we assign the Doctor ID to it. I thought no, that's only on admin. Only on admin we have the Doctor ID field. In this case, I have to manually assign the doctor to the appointment we're creating, and I'm guessing we can do that in the create form page. So we are in Filament, Doctor Resources, Appointment Resource, Create Appointment. I'm probably going to need a modify state before fill, before create. Do we have something similar in the admin resource? Create resources, appointment resources, pages, create appointment. We just have the redirect URL. Let me grab this right away. Doctor resources, appointment resource, create appointment. Paste that there. And if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can do this by memory. This is protected function mutate, something with mutate, form data before create. There it is. So we just need to take data, doctor ID, and give that the value of filament auth user ID. And I am expected to return data. So now the appointment is already there, but we can't see it because it has no doctor. I have the option to go back to the admin panel and assign it to the current doctor, but at this point I'd rather just stay here and make sure that when I create a new appointment for, let's say, next Monday. Is that a Monday? No, that's a Tuesday. Next Monday. Something pay related again. And now if I click create, I should be taken back to the list of appointments, and I am. This table got really big. I guess it's not a problem for now, but it works. I mean, it's an appointment for Rufus, something pain related, for doctor, the clinic, the date. I don't think we need to see the doctor name, because it's just for us. And we don't need the clinic name as well because it's already here. So we just need the pet, description, date, time, and status. Let's modify the table. We don't need the doctor nor the clinic. Much better. All right, these buttons are still working. Whoa, what happened there? Did you see that? When I confirmed one, somehow I'm now able to look at the other appointments. Are those assigned to the same doctor? That's interesting. Let me bring back the name column just to see who the doctor is for those appointments. And the clinic. Let's skip the clinic as well. What the hell was that? They're gone. All right, let's do that again. Hold on. Let me change that to created. Save changes. Take me back. Come on. So, okay. It's not I said change that to created. Save changes. Saved. Go back to appointments. It's not changing back. Huh. That's interesting. Something related, John Doe, pet. Okay, everything. It is the record, I can see it here, 5, but the status is not changing back to created. Why is that? Is it something in the appointment model? I don't think so. I mean, validation and notification for user. I think there is validation already for required fields. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is validation already. Required fields, and I think we have some validation for emails as well somewhere, but there is validation. One thing I should do though is when you select a date and there are no slots for that date, I should have some kind of message saying that the date selected doesn't have any slots. Do I have noted that? No, I don't. We should have that for the doctors as well. Okay, back to the appointment model. Yeah, we don't have a status here. That's why. Was it status? Yeah, it was status, right? Let me double check the migration because I sometimes forget. Database, migrations, create appointments, table, status, yes. Admin can be able to see all clinics, yes. The admin panel doesn't have multi-tenancy, only the doctor's panel, so the admin can see all of the clinics, can create new clinics, modify clinics, and can assign anyone or any resource to that clinic. Okay, so with this in here, now we should be able to change that to cancel here. Edit from confirmed. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, I was able to modify it because that wasn't mass assignment, but here it is. So let's change that to created, save changes, and I still need the redirection here. All right, now it works. Now I get to test this thing. Oh, it's giving me the record with null doctors, which I should go and remove. Interesting that it's not showing them at first, but if I modify some column in one record, now they're showing. But I guess that's an easy to solve bug. So let's go back to the admin panel real quick. Yeah, let's fix all of those appointments. In fact, let's just remove them. I can't. I should have a delete here instead of a cancel. But that, I think we came to the conclusion that that wasn't a good idea. I just can't remember why. Oh, all right, we can just assign doctors to them. One more. So we have 3 appointments for John and 1 for Jane. Jane, we should not be able to see when in the doctor's appointment, in the doctor's panel. Not doctors, doctor. All right, cool. We can only see John Doe's appointments, and we can confirm them and cancel some of them. Good. I'm trying to think if there is anything. Oh yeah, the redirection. Before I forget, I'm gonna take this. No, not this. Get redirect URL. Put it in the edit appointment for the doctor. This is a string or null. So now if I edit one, change the status, save changes, and I go back to the index. Okay, cool. Let's check the notes. We're doing great today, by the way, despite the rocky start. Doctor appointment resource. As soon as I say that, start losing my voice. We did this. Created the global scope, yes. And we switched the slot from select to, from relationship to options. And that is working. I guess we can move on to the pet resource now on the doctors. Right? Trying to think. Yeah. Let's just get the pet resource in here. Oops, sorry. Let's get the pet resource in the doctor's appointment so that we can have all of the resources and make sure they're all working. And once we get them all working, we can move on to the suggested features, like adding avatars to users, then trying to add an appointment log, and all of these. I thought about making the day of the week multi-select on the schedule so that you can select multiple days and then add schedules for all of those days. I guess sounds easy to say, but I guess it's more complicated than that. See you, Virgil. Take care. See you next time. Maybe do some rework on the schedule resource to make it a bit more lean. I do want to add a filter to the appointment resource so that we can filter by clinic on the admin. And then the icons for the tab. We should also add an icon in the appointments navigation so that we can have maybe an indicator of how many created appointments are there. So that the doctor knows that there are new appointments and he has to go in and check them out. All right, one thing at a time. Let's move in to the doctor's pet resource. Should be easy because we already have a pet resource on the admin side. Should be just a CSS, copy everything from there and removing things that we don't need. Okay, let me open the other one. Pet resource on the admin panel. Oh, come on. It's funny when even if I'm sitting straight, but if my keyboard is like a millimeter out of place, like not centered, my fingers just can't find the keys. I'm weird. Pet resource on the admin side. Okay, start with the table. Let's copy this. Put it here. We do need the avatar, the name, the type. We don't need the clinic. Should be assigned automatically given the multi-tenancy. Date of birth, yeah, we do need that, and the owner. Yes. Let's import storage here. Yep, I think that's it. Let's go check that out. We should also modify the icon and the sorting as well. And since we're here, let's also modify the edit and create pages for the redirection. Create pet on the doctor. Put it here and let's open the other one. Create pet on the admin side. Copy this. Here we go. Doctor edit pet. Put that in there. This is a nullable. Ooh, not that. Okay, create, edit. That's done. Now I need the, let's take the form right away. I'm moving a little faster this week. If I'm going too fast, let me know. It's just that I do really need or really want to get moving given the slow pace from the past 2 weeks. I really do want to make some progress today so that we can move to new things, because by now everything that you're seeing, if you've been following, is nothing new. It's just resources, pages, columns, etc. We're not doing many new things. I want to move on to new things like testing, for example, adding new features, reworking, making the resources leaner, using service classes and stuff like that. So I'm moving a little bit faster than usual on these things. We need the avatar, the name, date of birth, type. We don't need the clinic. This one's easy. And we don't need the owner. But I'm guessing I have to add that manually later. So let's do that right away. I have to assign, no, the owner, no, I do need the owner, hold on. Owner ID I do need. Pets are in no way related to the doctor, they're just related to the clinic, which is the tenant, so we can only see pets that belong to that specific clinic. And if you don't remember, this is a actual multi-tenancy resource. That means that pets can be shared across different clinics. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Moving to pets, and we have a problem. Pet model doesn't have a name relationship named clinic. What relationship do we have? I'm guessing it's clinics. Yeah, clinics, because it belongs to many, but multi-tenancy is looking for a clinic relationship. But there's also the suggestion that we can change the ownership relationship by passing it to the ownership relationship argument in the tenant method configuration. Okay, let's try that. Doctor panel provider, tenant, and this takes in two parameters, I'm guessing. One is the model, two is there is a slug attribute to, and ownership relationship. So let's try ownership relationship. In this case, it's not clinic singular, it's clinics plural. This was a point of pain in version 2, if I remember correctly, because the relationship was always clinic, even though it was a many-to-many relationship. And that was always like weird to me. But now you can change that and use the whatever relationship name you need for the ownership. And that works. All right. Apparently the pet that we are looking, there should be one pet here, but I'm guessing that pet doesn't belong to any, or maybe doesn't belong to this clinic. Let's go and check, shall we? Interesting though that we can assign appointments to that pet. I guess the drop-down selects are not scoped by tenancy. That's why we were able to select or create appointments for the only pet that we have, even though that pet probably does not belong to that clinic. So we do have to fix that. Head over to admin. Pets. Yes, this pet belongs to one clinic only, and it's not the clinic that we were just at. We were at the Salt Lake City clinic, but this pet it's only assigned to the New York branch. How do we fix this? I shouldn't be able to create an appointment on Salt Lake if the pet is not assigned to that clinic. I think I remember seeing something about this in the documentation. Let me go check real quick. I love this webpage. So pretty. And if I'm not mistaken, that is in the multi-tenancy section. Setting up, many-to-many. No, it's not here. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Customizing the resource relationship, is that it? No, that's something else. Where was it? Maybe in the forms? Form builder, select. Enabling JavaScript, searching options, returning custom search results, multi-select, grouping, searching relationship options across multiple columns, preloading options, customizing the relationship query, option labels, morph to many, nothing, none of that. Disable placeholder, no. Custom loading message. Limiting the number of options, maybe there. I know I've seen this before, I just don't remember where it was that there was an easier way to set this up. Because my first instinct would be to go back to the pet resource, not the pet resource, the appointment resource for the doctors. And in the form, instead of using relationship, panel builder, global scope. Global scope. Global search field now. Is it this? Is that gonna work on, well, using tenant middleware to apply global scope? Now this is, we use this global scope thing, well, maybe it works that way. Yeah. Maybe we can use this, apply tenant scopes, and then register that tenant middleware as persistent and use that on the pet. That could work. Let's try that, yeah. Sounds like a good solution. I'm gonna make another middleware. Not here. Hi Esteban, just passing by to say hi and thank you for this series about Filament 3. I'm currently working on a project using Filament and your stream has helped me a lot. Big thanks. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you Esteban for being here. Thank you for stopping by and just saying hi. Appreciate that. And I'm always here to help. If you need something with your project, if you need any more help that other than the streams, I'm always at the Discord server. The link is in the chat. So stop by, say hi there if you haven't joined. And if you need help with the project or something that you're having problems with, just let me know. I'm always here to help. Thank you, man. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So yeah, let's make that apply tenant scopes middleware. And just to recap what the problem is. The pets are, the pet resource, it's being automatically segregated. So that means that if a pet belongs to a clinic, I cannot see that pet in any other clinic. Even though pets can be shared among clinics. And the admin can go in and say, this pet belongs to this clinic and this other clinic. In that case, I could see the pet in both of them. But if the pet only belongs to one clinic and I switch to another, I should not be able to see that pet on that other clinic. And that's happening because right now, John Doe belongs to the Salt Lake City clinic, but Rufus belongs to the New York clinic. So I cannot see that. So John Doe can't see that pet. But in the appointment, when you, in fact, let me show you. In the appointment resource, let me sign out here, switch to doctor. What now? I changed the relationship. So that applied to all the... I don't like that. Okay, problems upon problems. Since I changed the ownership relationship name, I should be able to do that per resource, not globally. So let's change that real quick. I'll get to the problem in a minute. I just need to solve this first. So I went to the doctor panel and I don't need this here anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to screw up all of the other resources. Appointments, they do have a clinic ID. That's why the relationship is called clinic, singular. Pets have a many-to-many relationship, and that's called clinics. So instead of doing it as a global configuration, I'm going to go to the pet resource, and up here there should be a protected static, I'm guessing string relationship. I forget the name. Let me just go check real quick. Navigation group, tenant ownership relationship name. Let me copy that and put it here. So that way, this resource and this resource only will refer to the relationship as clinics. And any other resource will have the clinic as the ownership relationship name. So that's the default. That should solve the problem in the appointments. And if I go back to pets, it's still working. Okay, so the problem that I'm facing right now is that even though pets are tenant aware, Efro, hi, how you doing from India? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, I hope you have, but if you haven't done so and you are finding this stream helpful, don't forget to click the like button. Make this so that this stream can be shared with many people. So hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, do so as well. So the pets are tenant aware, meaning I cannot see pets that do not belong to the Salt Lake City clinic. But if I go to appointments, this pet doesn't belong to the Salt Lake clinic, and I still can go in. And this was for Monday, yes. I can still select that pet in the from here. That should not happen because this pet is not from this clinic. Problem is that resources are tenant aware, drop down options are not. And that's what we are going to solve by creating a new middleware called Apply Tenant Scopes. As recommended in the documentation, we go to the handle method. I'm going to copy this and let's go into the Apply Tenant Scopes middleware, which is in HTTP middleware Apply Tenant Scopes. I'm going to paste this here and oh no, I need to paste this here. All right. So it's not author, this is pet. Do you need to apply a global scope to the model? Yeah, that's what I'm doing right here. I am applying a middleware, sorry, I'm applying a global scope to the pet model so that it will be tenant aware even in the drop down selects, because right now that's not happening. It's only happening at the resource level, because the resource knows how to be tenant aware, but the select options, not so much. By adding a global scope to the pet model, I'm filtering this model by the filament get tenant using the where belongs to. I don't know. Shouldn't be where belongs to many. I guess it's where belongs to. I'm probably going to expect an error here because there is, maybe not. We'll see. So this should only limit the options in a drop-down select to the pets that belong to the current tenant. So we have the middleware now, and the middleware applies a global scope. What we do now is we go to the the doctor panel configuration, doctor panel provider, and we register another middleware here. Apply tenant scopes class. So that way, all of the global scopes applied to the models are only applied on this panel, on the doctor's panel. So you can keep multi-tenancy awareness on a per panel scenario. Let's see if this works. I knew it wasn't working. Argument 1, query must be... I didn't import the class, did I? Apply tenant scopes, builder, import. Okay. And I'm guessing filament as well. Filament, facades, filament. All right. Anyone else? No? Good. Call to undefined relationship clinic on the pet model. Yes, because where belongs to is looking for a clinic relationship, not a clinics relationship. So how do we do this? Is it possible doctors panel with separate login table, not default users table? I want to maintain separate table for doctors. I'm guessing it is. I just don't know how. Probably in the something related to the auth middleware. Maybe create another middleware for authentication that doesn't use the default user class. Maybe switching the auth guard to a different model. Maybe that'll give you some kind of direction where to go, but I'm guessing that's a good place to start. So how do we limit this scope to just the clinics where this pet belongs to? I suppose it's something related to the pivot table. Let me go and check. That's why we have documentation. And I'm guessing this is the last thing that we're going to do today. As soon as we get this done, we'll be done with the pets resource. Next week we can move on to new things. And I won't be able to do PHP stan at the end because I'm guessing there are going to be errors and I don't want to end in a bad note. So I'll do that beginning of the next week. So let's see. Query scopes. Is there something related to many? Removing global scopes, local scopes, come on. Dynamic scopes, yeah, comparing models, not what I'm looking for. Oh, not that. Let's see. Many-to-many relationships. Model structure, yes. Inverse relationship, retrieving intermediate table columns. Filtering queries via this is what I need. Isn't there a where belongs to many query? Where belongs to method? No. So I'm guessing I have to do a where pivot. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. I'm gonna use the where pivot in this filter, and I'm going to do pet query clinics, sorry, where pivot and that'll be the clinic ID. And that is filtered to the filament get tenant ID. And I'm really hoping this works. This is way too small, by the way. No. So the query doesn't have a clinics relationship? Can I do the where pivot directly on the builder? I can, all right. But it still doesn't work. There you go. So I'm gonna have to figure this out off camera. There should be an easy way to do it. I just don't want to take too much time on this. Again, it should be something simple. I'm just not figuring it out real quick. Again, if I find a solution throughout the week, keep an eye on the Discord server where I will have the solution there. And next week we are going to fix that real quick and then move on to suggested features and etc. So for now, we're going to leave it here. It's going to be a shorter stream than usual, 10 minutes before 2 hours. Appreciate everyone coming in. Sorry for the rocky start. And again, if you found this video or this stream helpful, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.